Kick off your shoes and pick up a controller. Today, I want to help you understand the difference between block and defense in Halls of Torment. At first glance, they both seem to do the same thing, mitigate damage. And for the most part, that is true, but they do the same thing in two very different ways. Let's first talk about block strength. Every character has a chance to completely block or negate damage done depending on their total block strength. The higher your block strength, the more damage you'll end up blocking. Take note that this is just straight up damage negation, meaning your character will take no damage at all from attacks that are blocked. You'll know when this happens by the shield icon that pops up on your character, instead of a red damage number. The block strength tooltip reveals the following thresholds. You have a 100% chance to block damage that is less than or equal to your block strength divided by 4. You have a 50% chance to negate damage equal to your block strength. And finally, you have a 20% chance to negate damage that is equal to your block strength multiplied by 2.5. Let's take a look at an example. My shield Maiden has a block strength of 44. That gives her the following block thresholds, which are checked in this order. 100% chance to block 11 damage, 50% chance to block 44 damage, and 20% chance to block 110 damage. So if I take 10 damage, it will all get blocked. If I take 44 damage, it's a coin flip on if it'll get blocked. And if I take 110 damage, there's a small chance it'll get blocked. Now, I want to take a moment to highlight a very important aspect of block strength that isn't shown. Just because these are the 3 thresholds listed in the tooltip, doesn't mean that damage is blocked at only these percentages. What I mean by that is any damage done that is in between these values also has a relative block chance. In the above example, let's say I instead took 80 damage. Since 80 is greater than 44 but less than 110, at a glance you can see that there's between a 20 to 50% chance that it gets blocked. In actuality, there's a 27.5% chance that I'll block the 80 damage. If you're curious, this is the formula used for actually calculating the block chance. It's cool to know, but ultimately not important for most of us. Just remember that if the damage you take is in between the threshold values, there will be an appropriately calculated block chance. Okay, that was a lot. Luckily for us though, defense is more straightforward and easier to digest. If an attack is not blocked, your defense will simply reduce the damage done by a certain percentage, depending on your total defense value. The higher your total defense is, the larger the damage reduction will be. That's it. That's the end of the explanation. The damage reduction done from defense always occurs when an attack isn't blocked, so it's pretty useful. But how exactly does it compare to the damage mitigation offered by block strength? Well, we can measure this in terms of effective health. That's essentially how much health you get per point of either block strength or defense. The Halls of Torment Wiki has a great paragraph that explains how much effective health you get, so let's take a quick look at them. This is the graph for block strength. It's basically telling you that as your ratio of block strength to damage increases, you get more effective health. If your block strength is equal to the damage you take, the ratio will be 1.0, meaning you have 200% effective health from block strength. You see steady gains until you reach a point where your block strength is double the damage you take. Here, you end up with roughly 300% effective health. After that though, you start seeing large increases, especially if you get your block strength to either 2.5 or over triple the amount of damage you take. So what's the problem here? The biggest problem is that the damage you receive isn't constant. So there's no guarantee that the ratio between block strength and damage is at 2.0 or even at 1.5. Getting to and maintaining a 3.0 and above just might not be feasible for most players and characters. Let's compare this to the defense graph. You gain a slight bit of effective health from 0 to 50 points where you have just about 200% effective health. After that though, the next 50 points give you a dramatic increase. Even after 100 total defense, you still see constant and pretty significant gains per point increase in defense. Why is this important? It means that the first 50 points of defense don't really offer that much to you. They're just the entry fee in order to get the mega gains you see post 50 points. More importantly, defense is constant, so you always know what your damage reduction and effective health will be. With block strength, you can only stack it and hope for the best. But with defense, you can stack it and know where you stand. So which should you choose? Honestly, the smart and most likely correct answer is a healthy mix of both. Get block strength to increase your front end mitigation and supplement with damage reduction from defense. It'll help you survive most situations, especially if you're able to keep block strength on par with damage taken. However, the most fun option may be to stack as much block strength as humanly possible. Do you want to know what it's like to be a brick freaking wall? Play a shield maiden and keep pumping your block strength. By the end of a run, I was just walking through the hordes of hell, smashing things with my big hammer, shrugging off all damage. Idle Cub has a great video that showcases how strong stacking defensive stats can be, especially block strength. I'll link it in the description. That was a lot of information, so let's briefly summarize what we went over. Block strength will straight up negate damage. The more block strength you have, the more chances that you'll negate damage. If you don't block an attack, defense will reduce the damage you take. In terms of effective health, block strength requires more point investment and luck, while defense provides a semi-consistent boost. Neither stat suffers too much from diminishing returns, so you don't have to feel bad about increasing them. So if you want to build a character that focuses on soaking up tons of damage, you can't go wrong with boosting either block strength or defense. Just make sure you take a look at each character's level up increases and trait affinities to get the maximum benefits. And that's it. Hopefully you have a better understanding of both the block strength and defense stats in Halls of Torment. If you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Are there any other stats you'd like to see some clarification on? Any achievement guides you want to see? What games are you guys playing these days? Let me know all about it in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and good luck on all your future runs.